What's up, guys? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here on a Sunday. It's the 18th of April. How in the world are you doing? Hope you're having a good weekend. If you're watching this video on a Monday, Tuesday, whatever, hope you're having a good start to the week. Let's get right into it, guys. In this particular video, I'm going to provide you with somewhat of a part 2 of the video I did the previous day on Saturday regarding the Miami Heat's loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not to dwell on the negative, I'm mainly going to, I'm going to dwell on the negative a little bit, but I'm going to really provide my best solution to what appears to be a Miami Heat lack of consistency problem when it comes to just staying consistent, winning games, or not even winning games, let's say losing games, but playing well and maybe coming up on the short side. If you do like the content of this particular video, go ahead, hit that like button. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And subscribe to Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan as well. Hit the notification bell for future videos moving forward. So let's get right into it, guys. I pretty much kept the snippets board pretty much the same with number 5 Sunday. Of course, that is today, but he'd have a really big game later today, which is going to be a big test for the team against the Brooklyn Nets. But I want to start with item number 1 on the snippets board, and that is .500, which of course symbolizes the fact, makes reference to the fact that the Heat going into Sunday's game are now a 500 team. 28 wins, 28 losses. Say what you will. You could say whatever you want. All guys were hurt and this and that, and we've picked up better players and all this other stuff. But the Heat are 500, and with 16 games left in the regular season, really have not found an identity yet, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because they do have a little bit of an excuse there, because of course they've added players. There's been some roster moves consistently in March and April, but the team they have now, this is the team they're going to have for the home stretch. So some sort of regular pattern of substitutions and who we're going to use as far as talent off the bench, players off the bench, that needs to start to happen, because it certainly wasn't happening against the Timberwolves. And if you're going to go keep playing guard after guard after guard, yeah, you're going to lose to teams like the Timberwolves in the battle of the boards, and in this case ultimately losing the game against a team that had the worst record in the NBA going into Friday's game. So the Heat are, in fact, a 500 team as of right now. Do I expect them to finish 500? No. I would guess a little bit better than that. It's not going to be that much better than that, but they should finish above 500 this season. AIG, of course, that's short for Andre-IG Iguodala. We certainly hope that he returns very soon. I'm anticipating he will. And this was a big loss for the Heat in Friday's game. And when you look at it, Iguodala, 37-year-old veteran, he really is everything the Heat need. He possesses, his strengths are really the Heat's weaknesses. And that is a guy that goes out there, plays hard-nosed, tough defense all the time. He's a veteran. He's mixing it up out there, and he'll get you some rebounds too. He is just a tough, gritty player. The Heat need a little bit more of that, and I think we have that. It's just kind of getting that established and getting that consistent from day to day, game to game. Big loss, but he will be back. We need Iguodala back in the lineup. Rebounding. Okay, this is a big one. And I'm hearing some negative types, a little bit here and there, negative type comments made about the recent play of Bam Adebayo. I must defend him. I'm going to defend Bam in this because, first of all, if you look at the game against Timberwolves, Bam finishes 17 points, 4 rebounds. Okay, I mean, he shot 7 of 8 from the field. Now, if you want to be critical and say, well, why did he only shoot the ball 8 times? Okay, my answer to that is, was that all his fault? Maybe he wasn't getting the ball in scoring positions down low. Okay, maybe he was trying to get his teammates involved a little, but nonetheless, he hit 7 out of 8. This isn't like a long-term problem where he's not taking enough shots, I don't think. He is aggressive underneath. He's had plenty of games with 10 or more rebounds, or if he doesn't get 10, he'll get you 8 or 9. I don't think it's a rebounding problem at all. I think what it is that Heat fans, maybe even Heat players, have gotten a little too used to Bam carrying things down low. And he just can't keep carrying the weight of the Miami Heat inside. He can't. No one really can. I mean, you just can't, unless you're like Shaq or someone in their prime, or Kareem in their prime. I mean, you just can't keep doing that. He needs help. Bam needs help, and the Heat need to start to get a rotation, I think that's a key word, a rotation in place to help Bam a little bit more down low. Now that we have Dedmon, and that's a little, getting Dwayne Dedmon, that situation now has turned into a little bit of a headache for myself as a fan. Not sure if it's a headache to you. And what I mean by that is, we pick him up, then he only plays 6 minutes. And I'm just going by what I'm reading online, and then I'm hearing, well, it's a little bit of a conditioning type thing. Okay, so then of course the big question is then why, I understand we need a 7-footer, we need a big player, but what you're telling us is with 16, 17, 18 games left in the season, we signed a guy that still needs to get in shape, or needs to get in better shape. Okay, that's a little bit of a, a head scratcher there, all right? Now, how long is this going to take? Because we need him in these games. Okay, I'm hearing like, well, he played 6 minutes, and it seemed more like 30 because da-da-da-da-da. And he's not ready to go and all this other stuff. Well, I guess question number one is, when will he be ready? When can we count on him? And we're only asking a guy like Dedmon maybe play like 15 to 18 minutes a game. Go in there, he'd be key. This would be a key piece of the puzzle, and I have full confidence in his abilities, and I think he will wind up helping this Miami Heat team. Bjelica, how come he only plays 5 minutes against Minnesota? Where he's a pretty good rebounder, right? He's a 7-8 rebound guy. He'd get destroyed, kind of destroyed on the boards on Friday night, 45-33. Bjelica plays 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it. This is a guy that was averaging around 11 points, I don't know, but 7-8 rebounds a couple years ago. This year his numbers were a little lower, but I do believe that was parallel to his playing time going down a little bit. So these are questions I have, actually. I want to see a little bit of an answer to these questions. And then, of course, the ultimate question, which Heat fans are probably getting tired of by now, it's like we've resigned to the fact that it's almost impossible for Precious Achiuwa to play 20 minutes or more in a game, no matter what happens. You had Iguodala out, and what does Precious get? He logs 14 minutes. So that tells me, I mean, nah, he's like a 10 to 15 minute guy, and that's about it. That's his role for his rookie season, unless it all of a sudden increases. But now I'm starting to think that may never happen this year. In the future, maybe. This year, I can't see it. So in the Friday night loss, I mean, other than Dragic and Hero, we know what they can do. They're good players, but these are guards. You play Struss and Gabe Vincent a little bit, and then Precious and Bjelica, they combined for only 19 minutes of playing time. That's not going to get it done. And the question I had yesterday is the same question I'm going to have for you guys today, and I want you to please comment below if you can, or if you want to, that would be great. Are the Heat playing too small too consistently? Because they have to, I'm not saying they have to change up their whole identity, but they got to tweak things a little bit. We have to go with these bigger lineups a little bit more consistently Not a huge difference. We just can't be playing guard after guard after guard after guard. It's got to change. It's got to go a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. Get Dedmon in that game. Get Precious. Can we do 15 minutes or more? 15 to 20? Can we do high teens? And if you don't want to do that, can we get the big, maybe even bigger question is, why isn't Bjelica playing much? What's that all about? Maybe he's just getting used to the new system and coaching staff. I know he just came on board not too long ago, but that's another question mark. So I don't get what are we so afraid of? Just, can you play the bit? We have him on the roster. Can we just put him in and see what happens? So there you go. That's number 4 here, time. And when I write the word time, I mean who's going to get the time, how are we going to disperse the minutes. Went over that last weekend as well in a video, in a little bit more of a fun exercise. Now it's getting to be a little bit more of a current head scratcher. And okay, well, which big guys? First of all, are we going to play big guys? And if we do, how's that going to work? Okay, we don't have to play. Maybe Dragic, you give him a little bit of a cut in minutes. I don't like saying that. I'm a big Dragic fan. But maybe you do something like that. You know, or Trevor Ariza, a little bit less time. You know, you can take a little time away from him, or Duncan Robinson. I mean, these are good players, but we don't have to keep going with these small lineups all the time. So guys, leave me your comments below. Sunday's going to be a huge game against the Nets. It's going to be a big test for the Heat. Not sure of Harden's status going in. He didn't play on Friday, James Harden. So we'll have to wait and see on that. The Nets are currently in the second seeded spot in the Eastern Conference. They lost a little ground over the last few days to Philadelphia. So I believe going into Saturday's games, they were about a game and a half out of first place. So I will talk to you soon, guys. Gonna have a little bit of a Miami Heat Brooklyn Net recap early Monday. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna talk about how that game went, what I think the keys were. Hopefully we get back on track on that one. It'll be a nice opportunity, and to be able to get not just the Miami Heat fans, but the Miami Heat players to forget about that debacle that happened on Friday night in Minnesota. So, I'll speak to you soon. Leave me a comment. Want to hear what you guys think. Bye for now.